Around age 45, a woman's body begins a deep biological shift. As estrogen and progesterone levels drop, the reproductive cycle naturally winds down. It's a biological evolution, not a disease. But natural doesn't always mean easy. The hormonal drop triggers a cascade of neurological and physical reactions: intense hot flashes, highly irregular periods, and severe mood swings that can feel entirely out of your control. This leaves many women caught in a frustrating trap. You either endure these debilitating symptoms in silence, or you turn to aggressive, one-size-fits-all treatments like hormone replacement therapy or even surgery. There is a third option. Homeopathy offers a gentler path to managing these symptoms, entirely bypassing harsh chemical side effects through a highly individualized approach. Look at how the two philosophies compare. The standard medical approach aims to suppress a general symptom across the board. Homeopathy, on the other hand, matches specific, highly detailed symptom clusters to your individual physical and emotional profile. To find relief this way, you have to stop being a passive patient waiting for a universal pill. You must become an active, meticulous observer of your own body. Let's be clear up front about what this entails. Homeopathic remedies are extremely diluted, making them highly safe and generally free of serious side effects. However, they lack the rigorous scientific validation that backs allopathic medicine. That creates a distinct trade-off. You get a low-risk intervention, but in exchange, you must commit to a steep requirement of daily, detailed self-observation. Grabbing a random bottle off the shelf labeled menopause relief won't work. If the remedy doesn't match your specific constitutional profile, you get zero results. To navigate this, we use a diagnostic framework. We can break down dozens of potential homeopathic remedies into specific, highly recognizable scenario matches. Your success here is entirely dependent on pinning down your exact mix of physical and emotional symptoms before you ever take a single drop. We'll start with the first major symptom profile. It's for women experiencing a profound, dragging weariness, coupled with a surprising emotional detachment from their families. This is the symptom matching scorecard for this specific profile. To find the right remedy, we divide your daily tracking into two distinct columns: physical indicators and emotional states. On the physical side, you need to track specific sensations. Are you feeling a distinct heaviness or sagging in your pelvic organs? Are your periods fluctuating between being completely absent and sudden heavy flooding? Mentally, look for a very specific type of exhaustion. Do you find yourself weeping, feeling intensely irritable, and completely losing interest in daily tasks and family members? If weeping and apathy dominate your mood, that points to the remedy sepia. But if your primary emotional symptom is sudden outbursts of unaccustomed rage or deeply suppressed anger, the profile matches staphysagria. Actually seeing results with this profile requires painful honesty. If you refuse to admit to yourself that you are feeling resentment toward your spouse or children, you will miss the correct remedy. The second profile looks completely different. Here, the primary struggle isn't deep exhaustion, but rather extreme, unpredictable emotional volatility and anxiety. Let's look at the scorecard for this cluster. The physical tracking focuses heavily on environmental sensitivity. Do your hot flashes or nausea get noticeably worse in a stuffy room, but improve the second you step out into open air? The emotional inputs are highly reactive. You're tracking rapid mood swings, a deep insecurity or fear about getting older, a tendency to cry very easily, and a desperate need to cling to your family. When those physical and emotional markers line up, especially if you crave desserts and butter and need constant family reassurance, the profile matches the remedy pulsatilla. But look at how specific the tracking needs to be. If that emotional volatility actually shows up as guarded defensiveness, hysterical outbursts, and a heavy, sighing feeling in your chest, you need a completely different remedy called ignatia. Precise differentiation is critical here. If you give ignatia to someone whose symptom cluster actually matches pulsatilla, it will fail completely. Our third profile moves away from dominant emotional swings and centers entirely on overwhelming physical and metabolic disruptions. For this scorecard, your physical inputs are intense. You're looking for drastic weight gain, drenching night sweats, and waking up far too early in the morning. The deciding factor for this profile comes down to your exact temperature preference. You need to distinguish between constantly craving warmth versus waking up in a sweat to violently throw off the bed covers. If you have intense night sweats but are generally chilly, have a sluggish metabolism, and find yourself craving eggs and sweets, the match is Calcarea carbonica. However, if you wake up early, throw those covers off, tend to be physically warmer, and actually feel much worse when exposed to heat, the precise match is sulfur. Managing these physical metabolic shifts requires far more patience than treating an acute emotional spike. Your body simply takes longer to re-regulate these core systems. Tracking your daily symptoms, analyzing your exact temperature preferences, and confronting your deeply held emotional states is a lot of work. It is not a feasible path for everyone. If you are overwhelmed by that process, there is a broad-spectrum alternative. You can use combination remedies, like R10 drops, which blend several common profiles together. You simply take a few drops in warm water multiple times a day. The expected outcome here is a general reduction in your baseline hot flashes and mood swings without needing a perfect psychological match. Combination remedies are an easier starting point, but you are trading depth for convenience. You might relieve the surface-level discomfort, but miss the deeper constitutional issues that a targeted single remedy could resolve. Pinpointing the correct profile is only half the battle. The actual protocol for taking these remedies completely defies standard medical logic. Look at this dosage logic. We follow the minimum viable dose rule. You start with a lower potency, like a 30C or 200 CH. Take it infrequently, and then you wait and observe how your body reacts. Here is the most counterintuitive part. If you see improvement, you must immediately stop taking the remedy and let it work. You do not continue taking it every day like a vitamin. Conversely, if you go through a reasonable trial period and see absolutely no change in your symptoms, taking more of it won't help. You must select a different remedy entirely. This protocol exists because homeopathy works as an energetic stimulus. It is meant to prompt your body to heal itself, rather than delivering a continuous chemical payload to suppress a symptom. This path requires a specific type of commitment. The ideal candidate is someone who prioritizes natural interventions, is perfectly willing to journal their specific triggers, and has the patience to endure a 1 to 2 month trial and error phase. If you are looking for an immediate, guaranteed chemical fix, or if closely monitoring your daily physical and mental shift sounds exhausting, this is not the route for you. And crucially, before you start any alternative regimen, consult a local healthcare provider. You need to rule out underlying pathologies, like thyroid disorders, that can easily mimic the symptoms of menopause. We want to hear from the Body Spirit Hub community. Which of the 3 symptom clusters we covered today best describes your current experience? Let us know in the comments below. Menopause is an unavoidable transition. Your body will change, but suffering through that change without highly personalized support is a choice.